Welcome back, everybody. Exhale love on three. Just get that right on off. Get it off. We have lemonade, spicy mustard dip, and then I have my noodle and seafood boil with the veggies, of course. So today we have a story coming to you from Fear Thy Neighbor. The story is called Old Friends, Bad Neighbors. Hold on, let me feed the body real quick. Because this story, wow. I should probably move this dip closer to me. So anyways, this story took place in North Carolina in a quiet little neighborhood. Nice little cul-de-sac. It was like multi-family homes, which is another way of saying it was diverse. Not just one race lived there, it was multiple races of people. So we have the Mozilla family. They had 3 kids. And the Sanders family. Now, both the men from these 2 families, they both had 3 kids. They started a company business doing landscaping. I put Thai chili peppers in here, and it just done took the hot to a new level. Like, I don't know. I eat them whole, but apparently when they decide to make them and put them in a jar or a bag or whatever have you, I don't know. Maybe it's because they're fresher or what have you. I don't know. I couldn't get the line. I couldn't tell you. But if you like hot, you gotta get the Thai chili peppers with just the seeds. I mean, it's unruly hot. Unruly hot. It's inappropriate. Anyways, back to the Sanders and the Mozilla family. Their properties were also side by side, so they could see each other's houses. Their driveways was side by side. Everything side by side. So anyways, Joey was the Mozilla's brother-in-law from the wife's side of the family, and he needed a place to live and a job, helping the family out. So they took him in and they told him that he could work with them in the family company business, but what was his name? Well, let's just use his last name. Mr. Sanders. He didn't like Joey. He's getting junk on job, in front of customers, on job, just drinking, just a whole party animal. So, and he also would get aggressive, apparently. You know, that's what drinking in the sun would do to you, have you just in your feelings. So, Mr. Sanders said, "You pack your stuff up, buddy. You can't work with us. You can't work on my team no more." He said, "My team." So I guess he was solely working with him. But he said he only worked with his drunk ass no more. So, that was that. So, of course, his brother-in-law was like, "Well, don't even worry about it. You could just work with me." And, of course, those two were drinking on the job together. So, you know, it was a perfect pair in heaven for him. So, he wasn't stressing. Job well done. Everybody went home. So, the problem started really because of I'm not even sure where the problem really started, y'all. It just seemed like Mr. Sanders just had something going on. Emotionally, mentally, something was going on with him anyway. So, he blamed it on Joey drinking at the job, but like, you know, some people just don't like new people. You know what I'm saying? So they'll just be weird for no reason. And that's what it seemed like to me it was. So, roll with me, follow me through. Anyways, so one afternoon, you know, the Sanders were out. They was like, "Oh, we're having a party, da 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 da. You can come over. Don't bring your dog." Because apparently their pit bull had broke off the chain and it tried to attack the Sanders family dog. And apparently, you know, that's just not going to happen. That fight is just not going to be won. So, they was already, you know, nitpicking at the Gonzalez family because of the dog being not a desirable breed for them to be mingling with their dog. So if it wasn't one thing, it was another. So it seemed to me yet again. So long story short, they like, "Come on to the party." So they headed over to the party for the football game. And it was this night that really kicked everything off. It wouldn't have been a story without this football night. Okay? It was a football game that set it off. So, the Sanders were cooking. And, you know, long day over, you know, everybody chilling, vibing, whatever have you. Joey's walking around, hit the Sanders home. I don't know how he got invited because Mr. Sanders just seemed to like always have a problem with him. But this night, Joey was walking around trying to find a bathroom or something. And he just happened to pass the living room where Mr. Sanders was sitting with his niece under a blanket. The baby's 11. She got a dad. So, he tells his niece to come on, let's go on home. And so that's what they did. She gets up. She probably bolted the fuck up. And, yeah. Went back with her uncle. And, sorry. I gotta get this out real quick. Oh, that's right. His name is John Sanders. So anyways. Anywhere I go. Joey and the niece. They go home, like I said. And the adults were just behind or whatever. And somehow, I think Joey must have doubled back for the hot tub experience. And that's where Miss Manzella was with the Sanders. The husband and wife were in there. And Joey asked Mr. Sanders, you ever think about trading off your wife for another lady? And that was Mr. Sanders' last straw. He had had enough of Joey. So he asked him to leave. He said, get off my property. Get out my house. Go. That's what he said. Okay? I ain't say it. That's what he said. So, long story short, he was mad. He's like, try my wife. Trying to get a little fit and feel. Run that too. Joe's starting to ranching all his little plans he had. So So the next day, Joey told Mr. Manzella, his name was Sandy, yeah, his name was Sandy, but he was he had told his brother-in-law, you know, that Mrs. Sanders was hitting on his wife and making her like sexual advances during their hot tub extravaganzas, you know. Which shit happens, you know. Sometimes it does, sometimes it don't. You be into, you into. If you're not, you're not. So Mr. Manzella, he grabs his gun. He like, I'm finna go get right with baby. Okay? So Joey calms him down, talks him out of it. Says it's gonna be okay. Da 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 da. So I'm gonna tell you, this is just so spicy. My ears are hot. Spicy. So anyways, he puts the gun back. And instead, he goes and gets a restraining order. So they're no longer working together or sharing the company logo or slogan or anything of that matter of being working together. So now it's just Joey and Sandy working. I don't even think they're working. They just seem like they just kind of, everything just kind of stopped. Unless they got the restraining order. So it's good. So police, they deliver the restraining order to the Sanders family. And as the police officer is pulling off, Mr. Gonzalez tells Mr. Sanders to stay the F away from his family, and just that was it. Joe never told him about what he seen between his niece and Mr. Sanders. He just left it to blow up into the air, basically. So this not because he said anything about anything. It's just it was his wife, is what it was for him. He didn't know this was much deeper than that. So long story short. The Gonzalez family tried to sue the Sanders for money owed, but the courts ruled that out. They ruled that out. They're like, we're gonna you already got a restraining order. Money lost in the business is money lost. Call it equal justice if you have it. Who's to say? So they couldn't sue the family. That kind of made them mad. So they would be like doing little stuff like at night. I put music on a big speaker that's facing the Sanders house, blaring music in odd times of night, just being real ignorant. They said they really felt some type of way about that money. It's hot. It's real hot. So Yeah, the landscaping business fell apart due to them falling out about their wives trying to have threesomes, whatever have you. So, everything was seeming to work out for Sanders, Mr. Sanders at that. Seems like he was just being exposed. So, kudos to him. He really, really did a stand-up job, you know. So, they would trash talk the Sanders, you know. Mr. Sanders tried to do something, but he didn't really have nobody to trash talk with to help him trash talk the Manzales family. He was out of luck. Baby couldn't get it. Baby couldn't get it. He couldn't get the words out his mouth. Okay? So, you know, he had to stay quiet and stay, you know, approximately so far from them because he did have a restraining order. And if he spoke to him, that was a violation against the restraining order. So, I don't know how these people was about. Well, I forgot what the Manzales family, the wife had a job in like the doctor's office, and the Sanders, Mrs. Sanders, she was an accountant. So once the family business went under, I bet she just went somewhere else and worked somewhere else. So as an accountant. So I guess that's how they were staying afloat. But yeah. So it was just one odd day. What's the odds? That it was Sanders' oldest daughter, the one that was under the blanket. She was playing hide and seek or tag or whatever have you with some neighbors from around the way. The boy slipped, instead of hitting her back, say tag, he caught the buns. She felt immediately alarmed. She was all types of upset. She was afraid for her life all of a sudden. So she runs and goes tells his dad. She's like, well, I'm glad you said something because it's not okay for people to touch your private parts, which is your butt, you know, common stuff. So they tell the dad, which it snowballs into the fact that she was touched by the Sanders. Now this girl's 11 years old. There's statutory rape, child molestation, those charges. There's no getting past that. So they call the police again. And they open a case up against Mr. Sanders. He goes to jail. She goes down for questioning. And it's just not looking good. So, you know, he's trying to gather himself this whole time, keep himself together. He gets out of jail and makes bond. And the Manzales family is just talking trash. Like, every chance they get, they're talking trash. I'm like, what is that glare? It's fluids. So anyways, yeah. So a CPS worker goes to the Sanders house and tells them that they have an open case about child abuse. So he tells his kids to go inside so that they could talk with the investigator. And they're like, well, it's not concerning your child. It's concerning the Manzales' 11-year-old daughter. She made claims that you had touched her underneath the blanket on this, that, the third day, which is the game day. It was probably like a Saturday or Sunday. So so, 2 And so she just basically came over to inform that they're opening up an investigation on him and family, that he could really be like facing some serious charges. So now he's really like, oh, it's over for me. So as she leaves, the Manzales family takes it upon themselves to chant as the Sanders family was standing on the porch, Chester the molester, and they just kept chanting it. Like every chance they seen him pulling off in the morning, they was chanting it, like repeatedly saying that, meaning chanting. Anyways, so he's getting irritated. His wife had enough, so she decides to beat the Manzala family to the end of their driveway, because like I said, they was side by side. She cuts the Sanders or the Manzales family off, and gives them a piece of her mind, because she had enough of being, tortured as neighbors. Like, you guys were friends, So she was just getting sick of all the nitpicking and the name calling, and she's like, y'all taking it too far. So she calls the police. The police come, give her a ticket for cutting them off at their driveway because it's illegal. That's their private property. Entering and exiting, that's their private property. You cannot block in anybody's car or block somebody in from leaving. It could be turned into charges. Don't do it. Mind your business. Keep it moving. So this one in particular day, the Sanders were getting ready. They had to go run some errands or something, and so Mr. Sanders tells his wife to drop him off by the bar. Well, she runs her errands and does what she has to do. And so, he's telling the bartender, like, yeah, you probably won't see me anymore, and I got a lot going on, and this and third. He just skips over the part where he was caught touching a child, but whatever. So his wife comes, picks him up from the bar, and she's getting ready to barbecue their meal. And I almost said Chester and molester. Mr. Sanders says, babe, I'm going to go take a shower and get ready for dinner while you cook. So she's like, okay, bye. It's fine. Did y'all see that? You just cut off my hand, though. Let's talk about it. So anyways, he's really upstairs grabbing his shotgun and bustles down the stairs and across the lawn and starts shooting. He shot Miss Manzala, he shot Joey, and I guess he tried to shoot the kids or something, but he got Mr. Manzala. He killed everybody. The grandpa was there. Mr. Manzala tells his dad to run and call the police. So he runs across the street. Grandpa runs across the street, calls the folks. He done killed damn near the whole family. Mr. Sanders had enough. He said, I ain't going down for nothing. So I'm going to go out with a bang. So that's what he did. He shot everybody with the shotgun. So the ambulance, the paramedics that came, everybody's dead on the scene. It's horrific. It's just horrific. Just so sad. I guess he just decided to take his own fate and be the judger. I say all that to say this. Friends and business are probably one of the hardest things not to entangle in. But if you must, have boundaries. You're either friends or you're either business partners, because shit happens. Keep your kids away from grown ass people. Y'all know what be on people's minds, so yeah, keep your kids close. In vigilant eye view. Keep it safe. But thank you guys for listening to my story. You can find this story on TV One or the Crime Channel under Fear Thy Neighbor. I think it's even on Fatal Attraction. So those are all the networks you can find. Look it up. Yeah. It's really sad. That whole family lost their lives because they didn't go about talking in the appropriate manner. So do be careful. Be careful. It's so much better fresh. Fresh lemonade. It just give you that right there. Like you can't do nothing. You be paralyzed. It just be tangling back down. It's a homemade lemonade. Anyways, do enjoy and let's exhale, my love. And thank you for watching. Enjoy.